What's up, comic book community? My name is Joe, and this is 360 Comics. There's a local comic shop near me in Philadelphia called Garden of Earthly Delight, and they have an amazing fill-a-box deal. I make sure I make a trip out there every couple months to fill up a box and dig for some cool stuff, and I just made a trip this past week, so I'm here to show you what I got. Don't forget, we'll be picking a winner for both of our giveaways this Sunday live on Instagram. So if you want to win either of these books, make sure you enter by subscribing to the channel, liking our videos, and leaving comments on them. And don't forget to hit that bell for notifications so you know about future videos and future giveaways. Also, tonight, September 23rd, Friday, live on Instagram, we'll be doing a claim sale at probably about 7:30 Eastern Time. And if you live in the Philadelphia area, this Sunday, September 25th, I'll be hosting Back Deck Comic Fest at my house from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Check out the information on Instagram if you're interested in coming. As mentioned, this LCS has a really fantastic fill-a-box deal. Basically, you get to fill a short box with comics from their dollar bin for just $40. Given that you can fit about 120 comics into a short box, you're looking at about 30 to 35 cents per book, which is a pretty steep discount given the already low price of just $1 per book. Every couple months, I go out and I fill a box. It's great for filling in runs, finding something new for really cheap, and every once in a while you find something really good worth more than, $1, certainly more than the 33 cents or whatever that you're paying for it. In fact, I'm going to put a link in the description below of a video where I found some really amazing stuff, but let's get into this haul first. We've got Detective Comics number 599. This is the first appearance of Henry Ducard, who is an early mentor of Bruce Wayne. It's got a very interesting looking cover, but still a pretty cool key nonetheless. Then on to some more Batman related things. We've got two different covers of Batman, the Three Jokers. We have the, I call this the comedian cover, the failed comedian cover, if you will. Definitely taking, pieces of the Killing Joke. And same with this one, with the camera here. Again, a reference to Killing Joke. These are both just variant covers of book number 3 in the 3-issue Three Joker run. Definitely recommend picking these up because it's a great read, awesome covers, and a nice thick book. So, some good reading material there. Then we've got Justice Society of America number 7 and also number 8. And these are just really fantastic Alex Ross covers that I like to pick up whenever I see them for $1 because, just like the Alex Ross timeless variants, that really focus on a character with a blank background. The timeless ones are white. These are black. I think they look really, really amazing, and a lot of people like to collect the whole set. Then we've got Animal Man number 23. This is the first appearance of a character who I'm not aware of, named Sunshine Superman. I am assuming, based on the cover, that it is a hippie version of Superman. If I'm wrong about that, let me know in the comments below because I have never opened this book. I've never read any Animal Man, as a matter of fact, but I've heard good things about it, so maybe someday I will end up digging into this run. Next, we've got Thor number 1, the cosplay cover, and this is a book I picked up recently at a flea market, and it sold right away, so I figured, hey, might as well grab another copy for just, 33 cents, a fraction of $1. Then we've got Iron Man number 1. I think this is volume 5, if I remember correctly. It's a number 1, and it's also the first appearance of the Model 42 armor, which, according to Key Collector, is a liquid metal armor. Pretty cool stuff. I've never done any reading for this run, so maybe I'll check out this book and see if it's something that I could dig into. Then we've got the Clandestine preview. This was a preview that these guys have like a couple of first appearances. They have their official first appearance, which is in Marvel, not Premiere, what is it? Marvel Comics Presents, one of the later issues of that in the 100s. Then they had this preview, and then their issue number 1, and then issue number 2 is the first appearance of Adam Destin. But nonetheless, these guys have come and gone in the MCU as far as we know, but there could certainly be more in the future. Either way, cool little MCU-related key. Then we got a book I usually wouldn't pick up, but this is Ravage 2099, #1. The reason I picked up this copy, it is super, super high grade, and it's a newsstand. That is the only reason I picked this up. This book, the direct edition and, lower grade copies, they are in dollar bins everywhere. This is not an uncommon book by any means, but this newsstand copy, I figured, you know what? Might have a little bit more value, and if we ever see this character in any capacity, could spike up a little bit, but I'm not really counting on it for this guy. But, for the price, it was worth it. Then we got Infinity #1, and this is just a really, really great Thanos cover from the 6-issue limited series. There were a couple copies of this, and I grabbed a bunch of them. Thanos is one of those characters that a lot of people will collect cover appearances of. I see the same thing for Doom very often. A lot of like the big bads, when they have a really nice cover appearance, those are books that people collect. This next one really piqued my interest as a fan of metal music. We've got Slayer, what is it, Relentless or something like that? Repentless. This is a 3-issue limited series. I actually think I owned it at one point, but I think it was part of the collection that I sold off when I bought my house a couple years ago. So, hey, look, I got another one of them. This is probably just going to stay in the personal collection. And this one's pretty cool, too. We got Tekken #1 from Titan Comics. I'm not super well aware of that publisher, but video game stuff and comic stuff have both been on fire the last few years ago, and you see the Venn diagram kind of merging between the two. A lot of people collecting both graded video games and graded comic books, and you'll also see people grabbing video game related comic books, especially if there's rumors of like a movie coming out based around the video game. Those first comic appearances certainly could go up in value. The next bunch are all Star Wars books, and this was really nice here. Definitely some good reading material that I'm going to check out. This is Star Wars Shattered Empire 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I believe this was a 4-issue limited series. So I believe I have the complete set here. I am not 100% positive on that, but I think, if I remember correctly, that was a 4-issue limited series. Anyway, moving on to one of my favorite Star Wars stories ever, we got Rogue One, and this is issue #4. Not only is this part of a really fantastic run of comics that, are based off of the equally fantastic movie, but this is also the introduction of Fortress Vader, Darth Vader's castle, it's been a pretty key significance in a lot of Star Wars lore over the last few years. That being said, I love Rogue One. I'm probably going to end up keeping this for myself despite having multiple copies of this book already, but we'll see. Maybe it'll end up in a claim sale. Then we got Dr. Aphra #14. This has a couple of minor first appearances or first cover appearances. I forget exactly who, but, I think there's a lot of value in grabbing any Star Wars key right now because they are clearly taking characters from the comics and putting them in live action and animated shows. So, if you can get them for $1 or, in this case, less than $1, it seems like a really great pickup. This one, not a key, but a cool cover. One of those toy variant covers. This one of just a Star Destroyer commander. This is Star Wars #9 from the Marvel run when they regained the rights. It's referred to as Star Wars Volume 2. It's Marvel's second volume of Star Wars. So from that same run, the very next issue, we have issue #10. This is another one of those minor first appearances. Again, I forget who off the top of my head, but, like I said, worth picking up for this price. Then we've got issue #19 as well. Same deal with this one, just a minor first appearance. And issue 26. This one's kind of cool, and I opened it up and took a look inside because Key Collector said it had like an excerpt from Obi-Wan Kenobi's journal from the days of the Old Republic. Thought that was cool, little throwback, little historical, Star Wars piece in there. And, collectors love that kind of stuff, similar to what I mentioned a couple weeks ago, the map of Wakanda that's found in that issue of Jungle Action. Moving on to the last Star Wars book before we get into a couple of the bigger books that I found. And this one is one of the more expensive books that I found. Sells for about $20. This is Star Wars Volume 2, Number 2, the 6th printing. You heard that right. The 6th printing cover. Kind of surprising that a second book in a run went to the 6th printing, but that green background means it's the 6th printing. Probably was a very low print run, and that's why it is, you know, a little bit more expensive than, actually a lot more expensive than the issue number 2 normally would be. That being said, you know, a lot of Star Wars fans are real completionists, so it makes sense that this would hold some value because people want all of the printings of this book. And I think it looks pretty cool with that green background. Moving on to a Rob Liefeld book here. He has been the talk of the town this week with his Spider-Man cover, whether you like it or not. It's certainly interesting. This is Youngblood number 2. This is the first appearance of Prophet and some other character. I actually forget who the other character is, but this book spiked pretty hard last year when a Prophet movie starring Jake Gyllenhaal was announced. We haven't really gotten any news on that, so this has certainly calmed down a little bit, but kind of holds a value of about $10. Keep in mind that there are 2 versions of this. One has this pink trade dress, and the other one, I believe, is like green or yellow, or maybe it's white. Maybe it's a white trade dress. I forget. Anyway, people say that they have about the same print run. I assume that to be true because I kind of see equally the 2 different trade dresses. Moving on, we've got Earth 2 number 26. Really great Val-Zod cover, and this is a battle on the cover between Val-Zod and Superman, and Earth 2 Superman, that is, I believe. This property has been rumored for a while, connected with Michael B. Jordan, who would either be directing or playing Val-Zod. I'm not really sure, but I hope it happens. Would be a really cool, you know, interpretation of the character. And, you know, this book being his, not first appearance or second appearance, but an early appearance and one of the better covers would, you know, probably hold some extra value if that were to happen. Now, the last book, there's actually 2 of them, and I was really happy to find this because I always look for this book in dollar bins, but I never end up finding it. This is Animal Man number 5, I think. Yeah, number 5. Whenever I see Animal Man books, I look for this, and like I said, there were 2 copies of it. This just has a really classic sketch cover, literally a cover like being sketched, painted as we view it, and I think it's a Bolin cover, right? Yeah. Brian Bolin cover, you know, classic DC artist, and people just love to pick up these really cool covers. Certainly, this is one of the more interesting Bolin covers, and you know, sketch covers in the past couple years have become pretty popular, and this one is a kind of like an interesting interpretation of that. So definitely always like to pick these up, and they sell for like between $10 and $15. So easy deal when I'm getting it for less than $1. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. It was a little bit of a, you know, different content, you know, being that it was from an LCS. Most of my stuff is either from conventions, flea markets, or yard sales, or buying collections. But, you know, I always like to support the LCSs in the area, pick up some cool stuff, and, you know, digging through dollar bins is one of my favorite. So please leave a comment below, like this video, turn notifications on, come by the claim sale tonight on Instagram, and if you're around on Sunday in the Philadelphia area for Back Deck Comic Fest, hopefully I will see you there. By the way, it may rain. We might be looking at some rain that day. If there is any rain, if there's like even like a chance of that happening during the time allotted, I will be moving it probably to the following Sunday. That would be October 2nd. Hopefully we don't need to do that. Hopefully it's a nice day, but the forecast is kind of split on that one right now. So stay tuned for more information. I'll certainly be announcing it Saturday, whether I'm calling it or not. Anyway, that's it for the video. So until next time, turn the page, wash your hands.